Scott Pilgrim EX. This was probably the biggest announcement for us during the show.
Yeah, I screamed. This is the only time I screamed in a little bit. I was just like, holy shit. So,
I mean, I think when it comes to the Scott Pilgrim IP, we don't really expect much because I think the last thing we got was that Netflix series, which was good. You know, it was definitely a very different take on the Scott Pilgrim story. And this one seems to be a follow-up to that same series, sort of like a sequel, if you will. But in a video game form. So I love that. I love that they're able to sort of continue that storyline into a different medium. And I'm sure all of these Scott Pilgrim fans are down with it just because the first game that they did all of those years ago to sort of get another pseudo sequel out of it, just with higher sprite quality, a different storyline, all that stuff. It just seems like a match made in heaven. You know, I think people will continue to rave and praise the original Scott Pilgrim game because it was very, very good. And now to go and get a sort of sequel to that is exciting.
Dude, I played that Scott Pilgrim game so many times. I have done so many playthroughs back in the day, and even when they're re-released, I did like 2 playthroughs. I might do like another one before this comes out because, you know, the game isn't too long and it's just so good. So just seeing like they're making a new Scott Pilgrim game in that same style is just so awesome. And again, it's made by the same people that made Marvel Cosmic Invasion and Shredder's Revenge, which is like awesome as well, because again, Shredder's Revenge is like incredible, and I was right when I was playing that, I'm like, man, it would be sick if they did like a Scott Pilgrim thing. Like, that would be cool. But I didn't think they actually would do it. So you know, seeing this is awesome. The fact that in the trailer it says like maybe you could play as, I think maybe some of the evil X's, that would be kind of cool. They said like play as like rivals or whatever, so that seems pretty neat. You know, it looks like its own original storyline by the creator of Scott Pilgrim himself, so that's really
Brian Lee
interesting.
O'Malley, shout out to him.
So we'll see like how it sort of like, you know, maybe continues on from the Takes Off story or whatever.